And welcome back to more A Hat in Time. Last time we finished up in Alpine Skyline in terms of the main timepieces, but we still have quite a bit left as we have 3 time rifts. Of course, we're saving the purple one for last, so we are going to start off with the windmill. The windmill has one in the section that leads to the horn, so it's going to be a little bit of a trek to get there, but it won't be too bad because I know where it is. So yep, you can warp directly to the various peaks where you enter the section basically. So like here, we're at the windmill, but we need to actually go back a bit. So we need to go to this little island, well, not really island, but this one peak over here, and then I think we need to take the yellow to get to the horn path, and that should take us directly straight to the time rift, so it shouldn't be too long. So yeah, I think it's on one of the houses, I want to say. Pretty easy to find. Of course, the ones that unlock correspond to the ones you actually finish, so you have to do the old windmill to actually get this time rift to appear, so you have an easy warp. It's very intuitive and it's a good idea. It doesn't make any sense putting a time rift somewhere where you can't access easily, so it's just really convenient that they give you easy access. And by the way, this is like the worst one. This is legitimately my least favorite time rift because we have all the thieves to fight. Yeah. I'm gonna be doing a lot of weird air hopping, and also spamming the time hat, and that is completely because, yeah, that. And if that happens to happen, that was redundant, if that occurs near the end of a platform, you're kind of screwed. You're gonna get flung off and it's gonna suck. So try your best to stay near the middle. Like, to me, my issue is it's just really hard to avoid these guys. Like, you can see them, but even like trying to dodge them, it's really hard, so we're just gonna bail. You have to defeat a couple of them in order to advance, but I just learned right now you don't need to defeat all of them, and I am very thankful for that because it's really annoying fighting all 4. So when you're not fighting all 4, it's actually not bad. It's like, okay, cool. So this is our Wario colors, the big appetite. Might as well rock this look for a little bit. I'm personally surprised they went with Wario and not, you know, the more likely choice, the more logical choice. But it's still a nice color. It's actually not that different from her default, really. So that's the one by the windmill, so we next need to go to the Twilight Bell. I also like how the grapple shot, the hook shot, mixing up terminology, looks like the umbrella, but it doesn't look like that in game, I don't think. So it's kind of weird how it's designed that way, but oh well, it looks cool in the artwork. A couple of things in the artwork I should stress is actually legitimately different. By the way, this is the easiest one, it's literally right here. By the way, I actually stocked up on pawns on my own time. And the reason is so we could get all the remaining power-ups I cared to get. We're not going to really use them, I just wanted to show them. Hold and release square, or the attack button in general. So this is our hover badge, which allows us to... It basically just negates fall damage, that's all there is to it. In areas where you fall down and it puts you back up higher, it will still do that, so that's a little bit weird. But just to show off, if we actually can when there are no enemies around. Maybe we can't... Oh, it unequipped it. That would explain it. It's pretty cool, but I just never use it. Probably because it takes so long. So back to our old setup, and let's tackle the next time rift, which will be Twilight Bell. So, This is actually a pretty fun one by comparison. We have the goats, and we have a lot of dweller mask shenanigans. So it's actually a pretty fun one. Obviously, we should get that equipped. Yeah, it's a similar color, except I think the green shoes are different. I'm positive. Yeah, so it is a little bit different. Definitely gives you a Wario vibe. But again, why Wario? That was a mistake. I forgot to equip the hat. Oops. Also, I probably should not have timed that so closely. So, I'm not sure why that bell is there, the second one. I always pass it because you don't really need it. But I guess you could potentially drop down. Actually, that's a trap because if you hit the... You have to basically time it perfectly with the Dweller's Mask and hitting the bell, or you'll fall through either way. So that seems really risky and like generally just a bad idea. So we have a moving red bell to deal with. And we got a wall, so we gotta time this so we actually land on the other side. And there you go. That is our last blue time rift of the game. Again, pre-DLC I should stress, because they are working on DLC apparently. Look at that. This is the remix for the time rifts. And everyone says this is a really good song, but we're done with the time rifts. That's really unfortunate, and I'm a little bit sad by that. So when you get the record, the band from Chapter 2 will actually show up. Wow. But they will change out music if you talk to them. If you have remixes, and talk to them, you can swap it out. So that's how you change back to the original song, for instance. But yeah, I'm a little bit bummed because everyone says that this is like the best remix and we'll never hear it in this playthrough because, yeah, I already technically did all the time riffs, and the purple won't use that song, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's bad timing. Okay, so the time rift is right at the starting area, but again, I would like to get the last badge. So the scooter. Again, if you use the scooter, you can apparently win the race without cheating, but it's so really hard. But in terms of control, it's basically equivalent to the scooter in Chapter 3. We don't have to deal with the weird inverted controls because it's not acting like an aiming system. But yeah, that's all the main badges, and the only other two are just totally optional, and actually have like flies flying around them on the options menu because they're sort of deemed negatives, like, you know, all the mumbly voices, and obviously the dying in one hit would be a negative. But again, that is required for an achievement. Beating any boss with the one-hit badge, I would recommend the first boss, because for the first boss, the only difficult part would be the section where he starts alternating, like throwing projectiles and creating shockwaves along the ground. But that is really easy to deal with if you have the time stop hat. So the others, I think, are a little bit harder. I definitely would not recommend Snatcher, and I would not recommend the Conductor, because I find those to be much harder bosses. But that's just me, personal preference. So this is the Alpine Skyline time rift. We only have 5 pages to collect, so I am all for having less things to collect in here. This is arguably the toughest one, but for some reason, again, I still find this easier than the studio. I cannot explain it, but it's just, I have a better feel for this level, and I don't really know why. Again, this is one where I had to look up where everything was, and that kind of drilled into my memory a lot more. Having synced memories of spending literal, you know, 5-10 minutes just trying to find one page. And having to replay the level a few times due to missing one. So yeah, it kind of sticks in your memory when that happens. So you want 2 by this point. There should be 1 page in here, and then 2 pages in the last room. Again, this is the one I can remember very clearly. Yeah. Again, sad that we cannot hear the pretty remix that everyone says is the best remix. Oh well, this is a good song too. There aren't any bad songs on the soundtrack, just some that are less remarkable than others, which is standard. And yeah, this is actually our last regular time rift. And also our last regular timepiece. So, full disclosure, this one I never figured out how to get legitimately. I always do like a really weird wall jump to get this one, and I don't think this is intended to like be able to wall jump like this. Maybe that's how it's intended, maybe not. I legitimately have no clue otherwise how to get that. So I'll just keep doing it like that, because, yeah, no idea. For some reason, the car agents are here. Also, there's a rift pond here that's pretty well hidden, and again, it will make our lives so much easier for the last room, which is actually really hard if you need to actually collect everything there. So drop in here, and this is our big room, which is sort of interesting. This whole time rift is interesting actually, because it takes elements of all of the different islands. Like the last one had the lava, and some other mechanics. This is like the windmill meets the birdhouse, which is actually really cool to look at. You can see a comic page up there, but how are we supposed to get to it? Hoping and praying that the mechanics of this game work. That is how, because I have had multiple playthroughs where I have fallen repeatedly at this one, so let's hope for the best. So we don't need any more rift pawns, so that's our last one for the entire rest of the game, unless we want to collect any more, but why would we, if we already have enough? But yeah, remember when I said we'd be doing that jump again? This is what I meant, in terms of kind of a close call jump. And our last comic page is actually down here, and this is the one I needed to look up because I had no clue. So right about here, you gotta jump down. There's a platform under this little aqueduct. I think that's the word for it. And that's it. So how do we get back up? Well, the easiest way is if you have extra life, to just fall and reset, because then you get put right near where the exit is. Just a little speed strat if you aren't too low on health. If you are, then you actually have to do this legitimately, and I can't say I envy you trying to actually navigate back up there. And there you have it, number 39. So what is the story? This is actually a more basic story. It's basically just showing how the goats sort of migrated and, well, it looks like to the Twilight Bell, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to signify. Not gonna lie, this is the one I don't actually quite understand because it's sort of more abstract. But look, we almost have every item, because it's mostly just the remixes now. This is the Princess Peach costume. I don't know if I got this one before, but you can tell it's Peach because of the blonde, the color palette, and also the fact that the little gem is blue. So that's kind of a nice detail. So we're gonna go back and actually look around a bit. You know, there's a lot of optional content here, and I thought it would be nice to show off some of it because a lot of work went into this game. I like showing a lot of the little details. There's a lot of things that you don't absolutely need to see here. If you just go to the 4 main islands, you're you're gonna be missing a lot of this level. Most of it is, I think, on the path to the bird cage, I wanna say. So also this whole section to the purple little thing, this is totally optional what we're doing right now. The gold refinery. So there is a treasure chest here. Now we could use the relic map, but since the game will tell us, and also because of the very nature of this level, it's actually really not helpful having a map. Like, it's legitimately not helpful. Yeah, the game is really buggy at parts, but yeah, it's polished enough, I would say. That's not too noticeable when things go awry. So yeah, this entire section is completely optional. It's pretty cool too. It's just interesting to think about, a game having a section that you don't even need to visit at all. But if you want to explore, then you're more than welcome to do so. I see a piece of yarn over there, actually, and I'm now wondering how to get that. I've never noticed a piece of yarn there before. So yeah, that explains why I'm missing one. But that does not answer the question of how the heck do you get that? Okay, I see how you get it. Yeah. I have, I think, 34 on my main file, so, I guess that'd be 35, if this is one I didn't get. So, now we're going to head over to the birdcage proper. Well, not the birdcage itself, but to the surrounding area, because I think I missed something here. Maybe not, because it's not saying anything.
The birdhouse is this way.
So the birdhouse is that way, but there's also this path over here that doesn't go there anywhere, right? Well, now's a good time to explore. Cool. This little upper path that's, again, completely optional. Pretty neat. Little detail, having so much that you don't need to do. But again, I like having the option to explore if you just really want to. It's a nice compromise. And this level sucks, actually. The Purloin Village, meaning cat thieves. So we're gonna worry about this next time. I'm gonna delay the inevitable. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more A Hat in Time.